Igbo cultural and spiritual facts that Christians don't know is that deities, alose, are a direct aspect of God. Let's discuss. In the Igbo cultural and spiritual system, we believe in the concept of chi. We look at you, me, to have a creative force or to have a creator. In the Igbo, we never believe that a person's creator is God, but rather a small aspect of God, which we refer to as chi. The existence of chi is not just limited to us, the human beings. We also believe that everything that was created in both our natural and unnatural environment, so which even include the hunk of wood, the stone, the animals, everything within creation, everything within nature has an aspect of creation, which is chi. So this means that chi ukwu, or chuku as we call it, is the aggregate of all chis, becoming one single entity. When we now look at it now, this even means that even an alose, even a deity, has a chi. So whenever we're interacting with an alose, what we are actually interacting is that God aspect that is within that deity. Now, our ancestors interpreted it this way. They know that as a human being, as how me and you exist, all of us have this direct aspect, this divinity that lives within us. But it's no longer enough. We also need to look at it from another perspective. We also need to approach it in form of veneration or in form of worship. So whenever we go to a deity to offer sacrifice, to become a supplicant, we are actually interacting with that aspect of that alose that is now the chi, interacting with that aspect of that deity or alose, which is that the chi of that alose. Now, when we now look at it in a grander picture, we also know that once we are interacting with that chi within that alose, at the same time, we are also interacting with all of creation, which happens to be chuku, chiuku, or okike. God is more or less a Western or a Christian construct. Now, as an Igbo person, as an Igbo man, as an Igbo woman, we refer to God as Chukwu. We refer to God as Okike. We refer to God as Chi Ukwu. Now, the Chi Ukwu aspect of it becomes the superior or the bigger God. Now, if I'm saying looking at Chukwu here, I'm talking about the bigger God. That means that within the natural order, within God's creation, there are particles or little or tiny aspects of chi that resides within us. So within you and within me, there is a tiny aspect of divinity that resides within you. So whenever we're trying to interact with a deity, we're trying to interact with any marine spirit, or we call them ndimiri, or we're trying to interact with any supernatural force, we are actually trying to interact with that tiny aspect of God that is within that deity or phenomenon. Now, what Christianity did here when they interacted with us is that they came to us and told us that we do not need to interact to God through this means. So what they meant here is that we can actually have this direct relationship with Okike. We can have this direct relationship with all of creation. Now, our ancestors bought into that idea. But what now happened is that the Christians now turned around to actually tell them that you do not have to necessarily interact with all of creation directly, but you'd have to interact with all of creation, which is God, through the Son, Jesus Christ. So this is the Christian confusion here. Now, if you look at how the Igbo people, how we practice our belief system, it all falls under the umbrella of you interacting with Okike, you interacting with God through this other means, through alose, through your chi, through all the supernatural beings that resides within you as your ezumezu. But because we are now being Christianized, we are basically following the same concept, but following it through a different process. So this is why Ndi Igbo actually believe that deities are aspects of God, and when they're interacting with a deity, they are at the same time interacting with all of creation through a deity. So guys, if you like this kinds of content, don't forget to follow this page, and let's talk about Igbo spirituality and cosmology. Bye.